lesson 118, number 14, it gave us a little hint. It says for problem 14, notice that the term x minus 2 can be factored from the first two and last two terms. So you may not have understood what they're talking about. If they wouldn't have told me that, I probably would have just done synthetic division on it and then got it into a quadratic. I would have tried 1, it wouldn't have worked. Would have tried -1, it wouldn't have worked. Then I would have tried 2, and it would have worked. And then I would have got the quadratic x squared minus 9. But when the reason they're telling you can do the factoring is because a lot of times, or sometimes, when you see a cubic, it's possible to just factor by grouping. So you just make a little, I always make a little squiggle down the middle, and then you factor the left hand two terms, or the first two terms. See, I took a x squared out of them. And then factor the last two terms. That's what it was trying to tell you in the hint. See how the -9 comes out? So they both have a x minus 2, so you can factor that out, and you're left with x squared minus 9. Okay, if you didn't notice that, or if they wouldn't have told you the hint, you could have just used synthetic division on it, and you still would have got to the same thing. But that was actually nice of them to give you the nice hint. Also, you should look for that, because there's, you know, oftentimes you can do that and save yourself a little bit of work. Do the factor by grouping. So that's a difference of squares, so x plus 3, x minus 3. So I have 3 zeros, a -3, 3, and 2. So stick them on my graph. I already know this thing's a cubic, and I know that cubics look like this. I hope that you guys, by this time of the year, I would hope people know that's how a cubic is shaped. Because I know at the beginning of the year and even at the middle of the year we didn't know that, and I'm going to take some of the blame for that. But this thing, it's going to look like that. Okay, so when I look at these, I think, well, I could just fake one right here. I'll just go like this. Like that. But I don't know how high this thing goes, and I'm going to, when I look at this, if I imagine what would happen if I plugged in 0, well, I have 0, 0, 0. I'd have 18. So I know that there's a point at 0, 18, way up here. There's a point way up there. So I don't know if you just want to say that it's, you scaled it. I just know it goes, oh, now I made it miss. It looks horrible. So just make sure that yours goes through, because it's just a sketch, but make sure that it goes through all the 3 zeros. And if you want to, you don't feel comfortable with just knowing that it goes through 18, because maybe it keeps going higher, you know, then you can plug in -1 or -2 and see how high it goes, or you could put it in your graphing calculator and take a look at it. But we just, all we're trying to teach you right now is that you can fairly quickly get an idea of what a graph looks like just by doing a little bit of factoring and by knowing, you know, it's a cubic, so I know its shape. So I mean, that's okay. We're not gonna discriminate on your artistry there.